Little Mermaid released this past weekend in 2023 and is directed by Rob Marshall, who has also directed such films like Chicago, Memoirs of a Geisha, 9, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, Into the Woods, and Mary Poppins Returns. And this is a live-action remake of the 1989 animated feature of the same name, and it is starring Halle Bailey, John HAUER-KING, Daveed Diggs, Awkwafina, Jacob Tremblay, Noma Dumezweni, Art Malik, Javier Bardem, and Melissa McCarthy. Ariel is a mermaid princess who is the daughter of the king of the ocean, King Triton. But she is feeling very unfulfilled and very alone in the underwater world, and dreams of one day going up onto the land and mingling with some humans. But lurking deep in the shadows is the treacherous octopus Ursula, who senses the rift between father and daughter, and hatches a scheme where Ariel will give up her voice and give up her mer powers in order to complete an impossible task so that she can take control of Ariel and hold King Triton and the waters hostage. And just like in all of these live-action remakes of animated features that we've gotten over the last decade, they try to give a little bit more backstory to the villain, and they do here. It's kind of comical, though, because we get exposition from the villain just cuz. We kind of just cut to them. She has this magical crystal ball that she keeps watching Ariel through, and then she's just talking out loud of what her evil master plan is. And it's like, no one's around you, Ursula. Why are you talking? Could you hatch this scheme just inside of your brain, just in case of, like, if there are any spies lurking around? She wasn't even talking to her eel friends. She was just outwardly talking. This is my plan, and I have evil things to do. Ha ha ha! This will be perfect! Ha ha ha! It's classic villain mistake 101. Now, I know when this film was announced, they announced the casting of Ariel. There were a bunch of very close-minded people up in arms, and they were very angry that Ariel was now being played by a woman of color, and we just can't have that. And I'm just gonna put that argument to bed. It's such a bullshit argument. I think Halle Bailey was fantastic in this movie. I think she is perfect as Ariel, especially when she got to her human side. She didn't have to worry about all the CGI and all of the mechanics and cranes that were swimming her around. When she was on land and when she was talking with Prince Eric, I thought she was fantastic. And I think she and Jonah HAUER-KING have fantastic chemistry on screen. And this is probably the biggest improvement from the animated feature to the live-action features, that they give Prince Eric something. I know in the original movie he seemed like a little brat and he kept leading Ariel on and wouldn't, like, go with her advances, but here they actually give him songs to sing, which, thank God, it's another reason why I like these live-action remakes. They give songs to the other characters that don't get songs in the animated features. But they actually give him purpose as to why he constantly goes out onto the ocean and what he's constantly looking for. And when he meets human Ariel for the first time, even though she can't talk, you can tell that he is infatuated with her. And it's a beautiful love connection that we're seeing bloom on screen. It's gorgeous. Now, I will say this movie is one of the most polarizing movies I have ever witnessed, because there are things and aspects of this movie that I absolutely love. Like, I am in love with. Like, the chemistry between our two lead actors. I love that. But there are also things in this movie that drive me absolutely crazy, and I'm just scratching my head thinking, why would you do that? Why would you do such a thing? Kind of a mini spoiler for those of you that haven't seen it this past weekend. I definitely recommend that you do check this one out. I think this is one of the better live-action remakes that we've gotten from Disney. But one of the things that drove me absolutely crazy was that when Ariel loses her voice and she goes up on land and she's taken into the castle and they're putting clothes on her, they're washing her, and they're getting her all ready to meet the prince, she's singing a song, like inner monologue song, and it's not a good song. Like, it's a terribly written song. It's just annoying. And the way they shot it, they made it seem like there was just a single spotlight on her and everyone else around her was black, letting us, the audience, know that she is thinking this is a song that she is thinking up. But that took away from the moment of this movie where she loses all communication. She loses that voice. And for us to go like, well, she lost her voice, but she still has a voice. It's just inside of her. It just ruined it. It just undercut the moment. There should have been no talking, and they even go back and give her a couple more songs. There's like a part of your world reprise that she does when she doesn't have a voice. Like, what are you doing? You're undercutting this entire section of the movie. Stop it! Because Halle Bailey has magnificent nonverbal communication. It is beautiful to see how she builds this relationship with Prince Eric, and she's not even talking, just through her eyes and her body language and her facial reactions. Again, it's beautiful chemistry and it's a beautiful relationship. It's just being under-freaking cut by them imposing a little song in here, because I guarantee you the writers were like, well, it's been a while since we've had a song, so we gotta have a song somewhere in here, Alan Menken. Could you write another one? Oh, and could you also write a song that's just not good? Because that's what you did here. The song is terrible. It is nice to hear all of the Alan Menken songs again, part of your world, which I think she does okay with. She kind of goes in and out of belting and then falsetto, and her voice kind of flips back and forth a lot, and I'm just sitting there thinking, you need to pick one. Just pick one. Do you want to go all belt? Then do the belt. Or do you want to go falsetto and you want to go like classically trained? Then do that. But stop going back and forth between the two. It doesn't sound right. Daveed Diggs as Sebastian, I think, is okay. It's strange because they make Sebastian, even though he's not animated, he's still like CGI animated, but they make him very lifelike, like give him all the proper features of a crab. And there's not a lot of expression that you can get from a crab, so all of the feelings that Sebastian is feeling, it's very hard to see that because there is no really facial reaction. It's just kind of two eyes and then a little tiny mouth. Plus there's a fake Jamaican accent, and I don't know what it is about fake Jamaican accents, but they just drive me crazy. Like, I like authentic ones, but the fake Jamaican accents, I just feel like they fall into stereotypes, and I don't like it. He does a good job with Under the Sea, and particularly Kiss the Girl. I think that whole sequence with Kiss the Girl was fantastic. Awkwafina getting there as the seagull, it's just great. It was a great moment. And then there's Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, and I will say probably the best musical performance in this entire movie was Melissa McCarthy. She killed it with Poor Unfortunate Souls. That was fantastic. Everything else, though, it's like you could have been played by anyone else. Sorry. I really wish this part would have been played by someone in drag. I think this part really lends itself to have that aspect, that hidden aspect in the movie, and we could have gone there with this movie, but I think Disney has already met their quota of inclusion for this year, so maybe next year we'll get that. Disney putting someone in drag in a movie and not have it be like a comedy character, that'll be the day. But I think there's a lot of heart to this movie, and maybe I'm just a sucker for father-daughter relationships, but the moments between Javier Bardem and Halle Bailey, I think, are just precious, especially at the end. Maybe in the beginning when he's being that cold and tough father just trying to protect his daughter, wasn't really a big connection there, but in the end, those moments when you finally see the tears on her face, it's one of the beautiful moments of this movie. Because she cries throughout this movie, but because you're underwater, you can't see the tears. They just get, you know, washed away with all the other water. But here, when she's a human in the end and you actually see the tears coming down her face, oh, it's a beautiful moment. And again, I'm just a sucker for father-daughter relationships on screen, and seeing a father let her daughter go out with another person and just go out into the world, oh, it's a beautiful moment. I enjoyed this movie. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I watched it. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, because this movie has both. But I think the good things definitely outweigh the bad, and it's definitely a recommendation from me. I'm going to give The Little Mermaid 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
So guys, if you've seen The Little Mermaid, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you all the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.